Does it matter that they are seemingly even more dependent than ever on Lionel Messi?
It is very clear. It is very clear that it's Messi or, again, it's either Messi scoring goals or assisting on the goal, or they're just not going to come. Because part of the reason you bring a guy like Coutinho in is to attract attention away from Lionel Messi, so that Coutinho can break somebody down in a 1v1 situation, so that he can score a goal, so that he can give you something individually that allows then the team to free up space for Lionel Messi. Well, it hasn't happened. Coutinho, you watch him play today, and I'm guessing Valverde is standing on the sidelines and saying, okay, we're going to start him in a 4-3-3, and he's going to be one of the strikers playing out of the left-hand side. All right, let's see how that works. Well, it didn't work. And so what he did at halftime is he brought Dembele on for a little bit of pace, take Arturo Vidal out, and then you bring in Coutinho into the midfield. Maybe he's going to get more touches there. Yes, he got more touches there, but it also became more turnovers for Barcelona. So you're depending on him to do something that right now he's just not good enough to do. And then you depend on Dembele. Dembele is inconsistent. He'll give you flashes of something, and then he'll disappear for long stretches of time. And then you depend on Luis Suarez, who until today, and even today, he gets a late goal, and you think, well, maybe that's going to be the start of good things to happen for Luis Suarez. But up until that point, he had been some kind of terror.
Every single time in the last 2 or 3 seasons, when Spurs have got themselves in a position to put pressure on either the top team or the top 2 teams, and they've done a Spurs and blown it. And they can't complain. You know, the goal they lose, yes, it should have been a goal kick. But guess what? You're away from home, and that decision is going to go for the home side every single time. Every single time. And they can't complain. As Ali said in the commentary, what, 10 yards? He stole. So you can't complain. Spurs, more of the ball, more shots. So don't blame anybody else other than yourself.
Well, I was going to say, it was some of Pochettino's fury at the end, not so much what might or might not have been said, but he knows the significance of this, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he recognized how important this game was, in that one of the decisions that he made was to play Harry Kane in his first game back from injury. And it tells you how much he thought, look, it's important for us to get 3 points here, and then we focus on to the remainder of the season. When you do this, it's so very easy for us, who we have been telling you time and time again, when Spurs fans get angry, and they do, and they get very passionate, and I'm sorry for you guys, but the truth of the matter is, we've been telling you, as you told us, we're in the race, we're in the race, we're in the race. No, you're not.
Here we go with extra time after a day that was great for Messi and Mbappe, not so good for Mr. Pochettino, was it?
That's how you asked the question.
I did. That's how
you requested.
Tried to elicit those responses.
People got excited.
Well, it wasn't a great day for Poch, was it? With his run-in with the referee.
I am guessing that Mike Dean didn't say something that he would have liked.
Our producer Mike was not a happy camper.
With Mike Dean or Pochettino?
With Mike Dean, with the general run of events. He just wasn't happy.
It's funny how managers and coaches and fans and everybody, and including myself in that, can say all kinds of horrible things at the referee. And he possibly, allegedly, maybe said something back. And all of a sudden everybody's all over it.
So you're taking up Mike Dean? You're taking his side?
Note this day down. Steve Nicol came out in support of Mike Dean.
See, you don't even feel comfortable doing it.
I'm just going to say that when I was playing, there was a couple of referees who would give you it back. You know, you would use some language you shouldn't normally do, and they would turn around and give you the same back.
Well, this is actually one of the subjects of our very first question. You didn't even know this, Steve. What was your most memorable run-in, if any, with a referee during your playing careers? Memorable run-in. I know the two of you were very clean players, always known for your.
I never really had much to do with referees.
No.
But as I was saying there,
as a manager,
there was a guy called as a manager, absolutely. But there was a guy called Lester Sharpter, who used to referee when I was playing, and I remember swearing at him. But I didn't do it to his face, you know, because if you do it to your face, you're going to get booked, or whatever, right? And about 2 minutes later, somebody fouled me, and he came running over to see I was all right. And And he said, and by the way, he gave me the exact same back. And I just looked up and went, fair enough.
Right. And there was, well, there were a couple of referees, but there was one referee in MLS who, it was his first few games. And
is he remaining nameless at this stage?
yeah, we'll remember. Well, I don't actually remember his name. And it might have been because of this game that he didn't do any more games. But so it was a tough game to call, and he might have missed a few things, and people are fighting off the ball. And, you know, one of those where people start pushing in every which direction. I'm standing next to him. And at this point, I was with a team that we were not doing so well. And so, look, you need to find some humor in whatever you were doing. And so I was standing next to him while everything is like, you know, this doesn't look good on you. You know, this is your fault. So, I know, I have to control this. I know you do. It's out of control now.
See, we played Philly, and I won't say his name because he's still involved in MLS, and he was a great guy.
Yeah.
He was a referee. I don't think he's a referee now, but we used to go, Paul and I used to get on great with him. But he was refereeing one of our games in Philly one night, and we got a free kick. Sorry, Philly got a free kick. And he was trying to move our wall back. And so what he did was he went straight back to where the ball was sat. And he started pacing out, right? And it was one of those, it was amazing because it felt like the whole stadium was watching with him and counting with him.
1, 2,
yeah, yeah. And he got to 8 and it was like 8. And then he got to 9 and he got to 10. And then he went 11 and 12. And the whole stadium went, hey? And so we were shouting at the ref, the fourth official, going, he's just paced out 12. And the guys went,
It's brilliant. I thought he was marking the penalty spot.
honestly, God.
Mark wants to know, what's the ideal next step for Kylian Mbappe? Is there a next step?
The next step?
Doing pretty well where he is, isn't he? But beyond PSG, if you can't win the Champions League title with PSG, which they may well do, but what would be next?
I mean, we're talking about World Cup champion.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah.
So it's
He's only 20, by the way.
It's whatever he wants to do. I mean, what are the limits? There are no limits for Kylian Mbappe. As long as he remains a true professional and really a guy that works on his game and shows the sort of maturity that he has shown over the course of his early days in his career, it's whatever he wants to do, wherever he wants to do.
Right.
It's a bit early. This is his second season, right?
Yeah.
At PSG.
I believe so, yes.
Yes.
A little bit early to start thinking about what's next.
Right. Things are going pretty well.
But whatever's next is going to be big.
Yeah.
Harsh Reg, Stevie, which Liverpool player from the current squad would you have most fancied playing with? Who would you have?
Good question.
Who would you have loved? If you could.
Van Dijk.
Van Dijk, yeah. Why not?
We'll make your
Oh,
job
because
easier.
we're playing right next to him.
Exactly. Makes your job easier.
Yeah.
Makes you feel more comfortable. Makes you more comfortable about going forward, knowing that something goes wrong, there's a guy there who's going to clean it all up.
Yes.
He actually reminds me, the closest thing I've ever seen to Alan Hansen in Liverpool.
Yeah. And he was something else.
I mean, every single thing he does reminds me of Alan Hansen. He's cool, he's calm, he doesn't panic.
Yeah.
He's always in a good starting position. He always makes good decisions. I mean, you name it.
Does that mean Virgil van Dijk will go on to be on Match of the Day and become known as the housewives' favourite?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Like Alan Hansen. He was.
I don't think they're paying that kind of money anymore. I think Big Al took it all.
Ali, would you rather have Messi in your club or Pep Guardiola as your club's manager? Asks Reza. Interesting theoretical question.
As great as Pep Guardiola has been as a manager, and as influential as he has been, the game is played on the field, and you need players on the field in order to execute the masterful plans of any manager. And so therefore, give me Messi 100%, of course, no doubt about it.
Actually, you just reminded me of another thing about Hansen.
We've gone sideways.
Oh, yeah. Well, for anybody that doesn't know, Alan Hansen for 20 years was the face of BBC's Match of the Day.
Yeah.
The biggest football programme in Britain.
Yeah.
Now, he only worked 1 day a week.
Yeah.
Saturday. That was the only day of the week he worked.
That's when the game. That's
Right.
when Match of the Day's on. Yeah.
So he was actually over here. He was actually in Boston when I was still at the Revs. It was probably about 5, 6 years ago. So we're having something to eat and a couple of beers and all this, and he turns to me and goes, by the way, he says, it's not been announced yet. He says, but he said, I'm going to. He said, I'm going to retire.
That workload is too much.
And I went, what do you mean you're going to retire? He said, yeah, I've had enough, I'm going to retire. I says, how are you going to know you've retired? You only do 1 day a week. How are you actually going to notice you've retired?
You'll be able to play golf on Saturdays as well.
Well, there you go, what? Oh, Fridays, because you probably travelled on the Friday.
Oh, yeah. Sounds like the sort of schedule Shaka's on at the moment. Has anyone seen Shaka?
Shaka on the schedule.
You know, we all receive a schedule. I'm not sure that his name actually appears on the schedule.
Only on the one I saw.
He was celebrating his 50th birthday.
So he was celebrating, yeah.
We'll give him that this time. It doesn't explain all the other...
He always finds something to celebrate, Shaka, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Eh?
There are many holidays in Shaka Hislop calendar.
He's like Alan Hansen. He's, you know...
What?
So he's going to retire
That's why
soon?
his favourite.
What? Who's what?
We will see you tomorrow. We'll have some
You're not going to come up with it?
We'll have some big games to react to. Liverpool's game against Man United, the Carabao Cup as well, on the next edition of the show on Plus.